It's now time for Me and My Roku with your host, Peter Clay.
Hallmark Channel emergency.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
More CEOs named Peter.
Peter Clay is here today.
Holy crap, it's Peter.
I've already forgotten his name.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fabulous, wonderful, tallying edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. I'm here to give my thoughts, my blessings, and all the things I do with the Roku and streaming services and things along that ilk, and spread them across the universe to come back in bits, back into your phone or device or whatever it is that you listen to this fine podcast on. How's it going? I don't know where you are in the world, and I don't know when you're listening to this, but we're going to just press on with things, because whatever happens, whether it's another lockdown or whatever's going on, that other stuff, just know that the sun's shining and winter's coming and we have our Rokus and everything's going to be okay. Hey, we got lots of stuff to talk about and all that stuff. So now, like a couple questions that come up every now and then. It goes, well, what's this me part? Why a me show? Me and My Roku. And it's kind of self-explanatory. It's me and My Roku. It's my experiences, what I explore, what I find out, and then share type of thing. I listen to a lot of other podcasts, and that will be a talk for another day. But a lot of these podcasts that I listen to, I find them mostly in the financial podcasts. I talk about it. The show's about you. The show's about you and your money and all these things. And yet the show has their name and the studio's named after them, or, you know, me. But they don't say me. They say it's about you. It's about me. My name's on the show and all this blah, 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 blah. But it's about you. Where I cut the line there and say, right off the bat, this is me. And I give you me. And I just share my thoughts on everything. I'm not saying, it's about me, do what I say, do. I don't do that. I just tell you what I do, and then come back to you, and you can go for yourself saying, or ill, or oh, or ugh. It's up to you from that part for you to decide. I've decided, I'm spreading it out, and the rest is up to you. Wow, I kind of missed a week there because a lot of stuff is going on. But let's get started, shall we? Or let's say it this way again. We got a lot to get to, so let's get started.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay, well, nothing like an opening segment here to talk about things that I normally don't talk about. Way to kick off the program, huh? Well, I'm going to talk about a couple things here. And then just to say that, kind of acknowledge the fact that I am paying attention to some things. And you'll find that there's some things I don't talk about because, well, they're not relevant because they're not on the Roku. So why waste the energy type of thing? But a couple things have happened or happening that are just worth mentioning, that you can kind of keep your eye on the ball type of thing, or just kind of, oh, okay, that happened type of thing. So first thing is Quibi. Okay, I never talked about Quibi because I was never interested in it, for one, and two, couldn't get it on the Roku. That was my big problem that I had with it. I'll try anything out as long as it's on the Roku, or as long as I can get it. So nothing that really was out there for me other than, hey, we have a 3-month free preview. Okay, like I said, sometimes I'll just try anything, and usually I don't, But I've tried things. I've tried Acorns. I've tried Shudder. I've tried Smithsonian. I've tried a lot of these things. Now, all those things I just mentioned, though, were on the Roku. Now, some things I have used other devices and things like that, like Peacock and HBO Max, just to kind of see what we're missing type of thing, and just report back and say, well, you're not really missing much, or, well, it'd be nice if it was on the Roku, but, and when it does, great. If not, okay. Now we have Peacock, and all is right with the world. We're still waiting on HBO Max. So, Quibi, I don't know. You know what? It's shutting down December 1st, and we'll just leave it at that. I never knew what problem they were trying to solve type of thing. And then the pandemic kind of hit. If there was some sort of audience, like a commuting audience that they were trying to hit, that got killed with the pandemic, I don't know. So the fact of the matter is it's gone, and there isn't much really to talk about. The one thing about Quibi, as we move forward, is to try and decide kind of a chicken or an egg type of thing. What's going to make something break out? Is it a show, or is it a service, or is it an app, a channel type of thing? So is it YouTube TV, or is it Food Network, or is it Guy's Grocery Games? What is it that matters the most to you? Is it a show, and where do I find that show? Or is it, I need Food Network, and I need it now type of thing, and what service do I get on that? Or is it, I must have Netflix, and that's it. Who cares about anything else going on in the world? You know, these are the things that keep me up at night and going and all that stuff. So, Quibi, so long. On that next level type of thing, here's a new service that's out, and we're kind of like, well, okay, what problem is this solving? And again, not on the Roku, but interestingly enough, on everywhere else. That is T-Mobile TV Vision, another service that's out there, another cable streaming service thing that's getting you to try and break the cord. Now, a couple things on it. For one, there are some restrictions. You must be a T-Mobile postpaid subscriber, current and up to date and all that good stuff, to even get the service to begin with. Then from there, once you're signed up, then you can either watch it on your phone or an Amazon Fire TV or an Apple or Android or anything like that. Just no Roku. So I have at least told you that it's at least out there at starting at a basic price, not bad, of $40. If you want the red zone and all that good stuff, $60. And another tier in between there of mostly sports stuff. So if you're not into sports, $40, not awful if you're a T-Mobile subscriber. Now I am, and I'm not, but that's okay. Not on the Roku, so if it comes on the Roku, if that's the only missing link to this service, we may check it out at some point, but not for now. So that is the update of things not happening on a Roku here on Me and My Roku.
Oh, 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 nah.
Feels so good. Oh, ha!
Okay. Next topic. Netflix. What are we going to do about Netflix? I want to make it very clear right off the top here. I have no problem with Netflix. I just don't have it very often. And that's the beauty of these cord-cutting streaming services. You can take them, you can leave them. It's not a constitutional amendment that you must have these services all the time, continuously. It's okay to cut the cord from cutting the cord from what you cut the cord from. Anyway, it's okay. But I talk to people and I'll say, no, I can't not have my Netflix. Couple of Netflix news. One is they have seemingly stopped the no 30-day free trial. This was the thing that I took advantage of earlier, a couple months ago, when Lucifer came back. I'm like, well, let's do this. I had credit card in hand, even though I was going to use PayPal. But just I was ready to go. Cash in hand, metaphorically, ready to go. And they said, well, you've been gone long enough. Here's a 30-day free trial. And I said, thank you very much. And I took it. And I enjoyed it. Okay? Like I said, Netflix is fine. We finished off The Ranch. Had a retro of things of That 70s Show, Monty Python. Just in tons of a couple movies. Fine. Dandy. That's not the end of the world. Okay? We were able to move on. And we're waiting for the second half of Lucifer to come back. And I have a gift card ready to go that'll take care of a month's worth of Netflix. So, hey, life's good for us. And it's okay if you like it and love it. Can't live without it. But I'm telling you, there's other things out there and all that stuff. So, second part of Netflix. And you're kind of wondering, here we go. In a pandemic with seemingly lockdowns going on, an undecided election and all that stuff, Netflix is like saying, boom, we're taking away the 30-day free trial, and thank you very much, we're going to raise the prices. Why not? Basic plan that nobody wants, but I'm sure some people use, of $8.99 stays the same. No HD, but and only one device, but it's all good. That stays the same. Next plan up goes up a couple bucks from like $12.99 to $14.99, something like that, and then your Super HD, all that stuff goes to $17.99. Now, a lot of people I've talked to and a lot of things I've heard in the reviews say, hey, it's still under $20, lots of value, doing lots of things, no biggie here. But they're starting to get a little twitchy, saying, goes up any more, though. They have to think about it. For me, I can still come and go. The value is there. If I'm there for a month, it's worth that much for a month. There's a lot of stuff there, and I can binge it all in a month and then move on to other things. So, like I say, it's okay to cut the cord from what you cut the cord from. Speaking of which, update, we're 2 weeks in now, and we're fine without Hulu. We're not going into convulsions. Nothing less like Peacock and the Fox app are coming in swimmingly. If another show ends up on ABC or something like that, we're covered there. The ABC app is fine too. Lots of ads, but I actually find that the Peacock ads it's less than a minute. I don't even have time to go to the bathroom. But the Fox app, yes, I have plenty of time to go and come back, and I didn't miss anything. There you go. So it's all good, and I'm telling you, a lot of this free stuff is just, you can find rabbit holes, unbelievable. Pluto TV has been amazing. They have the James Bond channels back, and just all the Viacom stuff. Distro TV is actually good. Tubi, the Little Misses is in love with. Falling down, even YouTube, that's still number one rabbit hole central there, where you just find stuff and you just go on and on and on. And that's all there for you. So get Netflix if you want. It's fine. But just keep knowing this is not the last price hike it's going to have. But it's going to be okay. That's the Netflix update here on Me and My Roku.
Da, 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 da. Hoo-ah, hoo-ee, hoo-ah, hoo-ee.
Okay. Well, I was sitting one night, just the other night, just enjoying my Roku, catching up on things, and all of a sudden I get an emergency SOS. Well, that's what emergency means. That's what SOS means, emergency. I get an SOS text from my jerk ex-neighbor who's in town on business, and it says, can you please meet me at this local watering hole right next to his hotel? I got a problem. I got to talk to you about something. So I put my pants back on and get going. Not that you need to know that. I'm just saying, hey, sometimes when I watch the Roku, I'll chill. Anyway, so I head over there and catch up with him. We talk about things. How's the family? Yeah, fine. How's your family? Great. Fine. Whatever. And, hey, Anthony Rizzo won the Gold Glove. Hey, okay, that's great. So he gets his phone out and he goes, okay, emergency. All right, we finally get to it. I need, because he got YouTube TV, basically for the Red Zone, just like I did. Not that I'm saying he followed my lead on that stuff, but it was one of the few choices that he had, and that's what he went with. So we're all happy, wonderful to go with YouTube TV. Everything's fine, except for one thing. It's holiday time. And he's married with 2 kids, and he goes, I got a big problem, and I need your help ASAP. I don't know how to solve this problem. Okay, hit on me. I'm here for you. I need the Hallmark Channel, like right now. I need snowflakes, I need gazebos, I need love, and I need it all right now. It's like not him personally, but you know what I mean. And so, yes, the fair sex in the family there was like, okay, this has got to change right now. So that is not on YouTube TV. That is one of the drawbacks for the insanely high price that you're paying for YouTube TV, but that's okay. There are other choices. So, as a friend, sort of jerk ex-neighbor type of thing, I immediately says, well, there's 2 choices. I mean, there's more than 2, but these are the most popular things. The first thing I did, just okay, as a disclaimer, disclosure type of thing, I have been putting out an affiliate link for Philo on here. So it's an affiliate link, not a sponsorship. So it's, I only make what I make when things happen. So, but the first thing I did go to was Friendly. Friendly without the vowels. Even though the Y technically is. Okay. But anyway, that's not important. $5.99, he looks up and he goes, oh, okay. It's got all the 3 Hallmark channels plus a couple other things. And he's like, oh, okay. But he's not satisfied on it. And then I go, it's like, well, then your other option is $20 then. Now, again, this is on top of YouTube TV, which is right now, and like he said, he's got the red zone then, kind of expensive right now at this time of year. But I says, but this is still your best option then, would be Philo. And he's just, a weight seemed to lift off of him because it's like, oh, thank God you said that. Because he had already downloaded it to his phone. He just needed a way to get it so the little missus back in Minnesota could get to it and all that stuff. So, yes, these are the things we have to deal with sometimes. Now, I also then pointed out to him is like, okay, even though you can do that, but there are other options. Okay, there's, on YouTube TV, Lifetime and OWN are trying to get into the Hallmark territory with all these like silly snowflakes, gazebos. Will they, won't they? Oh, my car broke down and yet I discovered the true meaning of Christmas and fell in love and all this stuff. All with a tire iron and a spare tire. But yeah, Prime Video, Tubi, all these things. OWN, Lifetime, trying to get in. Case in point, here is A Christmas in Royal Fashion from 2018, available on Peacock, Tubi, Pluto TV, and Prime Video without commercials then. Yes, young Kristen Cooper, a talented assistant for a global PR firm, put in charge of an annual Christmas fashion show and auction for clothing entrepreneur Mr. Carson. A handsome young royal, Prince Patrick, is dispatched by his father, the King of Edgemore, to be the face of the family in the co-sponsored event. Upon his arrival to Beverly Hills, Patrick meets Kristen and is instantly smitten with her, mistakenly thinking that she's actually her boss. Melanie, while Patrick and Kristen spend Christmas together in California, she wonders if Patrick would still have fallen for her if she was an assistant, not the boss. Oh, the hilarity and insanity that follows them. Will they then find true love then? Christmas in Royal Fashion. I tried to point that out to him, and I do understand. You can point these things out, but sometimes logic has nothing to do with these things, okay? Says, look, honey, here on Prime Video, A Christmas in Royal Fashion. And then she comes at you with a knife and goes, I need Hallmark now. Now, in this case then, and this happens from time to time, you go to the freezer, you get out the cookies and cream, ice cream, and the remote control, and you hand it to her. And then as she reaches for the very large spoon, you go to your phone and you get the Hallmark Channel immediately, by any means necessary. So if it's Philo or Friendly or whatever, it's okay. So that was the recommendations I had for him on that, and he seemed pleased as punch because I just seemed to give him that reassurance that that's what he was leaning towards, because the 63 channels and $20 and all that stuff didn't seem to faze him whatsoever. But if you're on a tight budget and you just need, it's like, it's okay, honey, here it is. You have a $5.99 option and a $20 option. They're both good. They'll both get the job done. And it's even just for the holiday. It's just 2 months. And then we go on to other things. There it is. Your update. And I hope that's the kind of thing I do for you, that I can pass along these things like, see, I knew it. Or on the other hand, you go, oh, I'm not doing that. But it's up to you. Even though it's about me, here, on me and my Roku.
Tell me what you are going through. Tell me what you are gonna do. Ooh.
Okay, kids, gather around. Not that close, but just 6 feet here. Just come around and form a half circle here, type of thing. And we can discuss some things here. The bandwidth of this podcast is brought to you by the Internet Archive, accessible at archive.org. Lots of things going on over there. With all the election season and all that mess, hopefully coming to a close here soon. With the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine, which is the most fantastic thing that's ever been invented. Any website that's ever been created, that has been spidered and all that stuff, is out there and put into the archive at the Internet Archive Wayback Machine. Something interesting that they're doing, maybe slightly controversial to some people, type of things, but any like website that has been known to have, or thought to have, we'll just put it in quotes on that. Just like when someone's, arrested for a crime, they say alleged crime. The websites out there that have been kind of known to put out misinformation, putting out air quotes there, type of thing, is now being tagged it's still being put in the Wayback Machine, but kind of with a little notice above it. So the Internet Archive is going through all of those, and anything that's been known to kind of allegedly put out information. Now, some people are saying this should not be saved. This is misinformation. And if you really look throughout history and some of the old books that are going on, misinformation is part of our history. That's part of politics. That's part of a lot of things, type of thing. So I'm cool with the whole idea. And they're just saying, hey, this has just been known to be an issue, type of thing. I think that's a wonderful idea. You judge for yourself, and if you'd like to see things like that, check it out today at archive.org. A lot of the things that I do and how I get programming here, I get through gift cards, through various things that I do. And one of the things I do, I share with you, there's a link for it, but I can give you the address right now, and that's swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. You go to that link right there. You're already set up. All you have to do is just check it out for yourself. And if you sign up, boom, I'm already taken care of. So I really appreciate it. So that's one of the things that kind of keeps this thing humming here, type of thing. This is all a labor of love and done for the Internet Archive and all that stuff. But still, a little love every now and then. And for one, I want you to find the same joy that I find in getting these gift cards, so that these things don't have to come out of my pocket. You can do the same thing for you, and then you can do the same thing by referring people and all that as well. I just offer it to you. Check it out today at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Check that link there, or the link where you get this podcast at, and that gets you all set up for that. And follow the Internet Archive, because it's a fabulous, talk about a rabbit hole that you can run into of information and things along those lines. You become a better person. Try it today at archive.org. Okay, some news and notes, and then a bonus segment that nobody asked for. But I'm going to give it to you anyway, because it's a me show. Hello, I'm in charge. It's all good. On 2 of my 3 Rokus are now updated to the new Roku OS 9.4. Yay! Just the soundbar is not. That's kind of weird, because that's the latest model that I have. My Roku Ultra and my Roku 3, 9.4, no issues whatsoever. Other than, seemingly, I do not have the Apple AirPlay on the Ultra, which I believe I'm supposed to get. So it's not able to AirPlay anything yet. Not that I've needed to, but, it's supposed to be a feature of that. And other than that, everything seems fine and dandy. And they say by the end of the year, all upgradable Rokus should have that update and all that good stuff. And with the fall TV season kind of delayed due to the pandemic and all that good stuff, but some of this new stuff starting to come out, and Fox and NBC have some of our shows back, so that's why we've been doing the Peacock and Fox Now app on our Roku. Almost time for CBS. Our CBS shows starting this weekend start to come back, along with live programming and all the other features of CBS All Access. So I had a gift card ready to go, and then I remembered, do they still have that deal through Apple? And they do, and I took advantage of it. That is right. CBS All Access and Showtime for one price. That's the pro of that. 2 things for the price of one. And the other pro is, yes, I use my Apple gift card, so no cost to me whatsoever. So yay, that. It's not a con, but it's just kind of like an type of thing. The only way I can access it is through the Apple TV app. And technically, it's fine. On the Apple TV itself, it's fine. It's just like part of the user interface, the UI. Whereas it's an extra step on the Roku. I have to go to the Apple. I have to turn on the Roku. I have to go to the Apple app then, and then find CBS All Access or Showtime from there. So, it's fine. Actually, it's actually really good, and the quality good, excellent, and everything. So it knows the shows that I like already too, and so it's good to go. So, but I just can't get the CBS All Access app or the Showtime app. I have to go through Apple and then go to CBS All Access. Get it? Got it? Good. But for the incredible value that it is, and all the added programming that adds now, trying to find more hours in the day, and I can't seem to do it just yet, but we make it work, and it's thrilling and exciting. Okay, so now for the segment that nobody asked for, because I just, as a person, as we go through these things, it seems like we can't agree on anything. So it's very hard for people to say, I was wrong. I tend to be along those lines and all that stuff, but I'm willing to learn things, and it's not that I was wrong. I was just like, I was learning things, and I was like, I mistakenly said, okay. So here's the backstory. So, not only am I a Roku nerd, I'm a podcast nerd. I love podcasts, and like I mentioned on the show before, I switched from Apple Podcasts to Google Podcasts. Nothing wrong with any of them or any of those lines. Nothing wrong with Stitcher or anything, the whole list I give at the end of the show and all that stuff. It's just that, as far as convenience for me, because I listen to like 8 hours straight of podcasts during the day, just to have a nice queue to run down, that seems to work better for me. If nothing else matters, I'll use any one of them. Apple Music, I'll use it. I'll use Stitcher. I'll use TuneIn. Doesn't matter. As long as I get me and my Roku on it, I'm a happy camper. I'm also a music nut. I drive the little missus nuts with all the music I've collected over the years and all that stuff. Most of it now through streaming services and all that stuff. And I can't get enough of it. I love it. A lot of the gift cards I get go to the streaming services. Right now, I am stuck on Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Spotify, and SiriusXM, which has a Pandora function on it. But the love of my life on some of this stuff is still between Apple Music and Google Play Music. And Google decided, of all the things that Google does from time to time, don't fall in love with anything because they'll kill it. Okay? So it's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times and all that stuff. Don't say, I love this Google product, because they'll kill it. Seemingly to me, all they had to do was change the name to YouTube Music. If it's a branding issue or something, we've talked about this ad nauseum on this show about naming things like PlayStation View. I don't get it. Is it PlayStation? It's way to watch TV and just get over it. But we get hung up in these names and brands type of thing. So not only were they changing the name, they were changing the whole interface and all the different algorithms and all that stuff for you to get your music and all that stuff. And I was just like, why are you forcing me to make this decision? Type of thing. I was getting both Google Play Music and YouTube Music as part of the YouTube Premium, which I use gift cards for, because I cannot stand ads on YouTube. I don't like being halfway there. And the secret to finding gold is, and then it cuts right into a commercial. So I solved that by getting YouTube Premium, and then I was given 2 services, Google Play Music and YouTube Music. And I looked at YouTube Music, and I went, okay, fine, great, but I'm going back to Google Play Music now. Well, I didn't have a choice in this matter. And they gave me a migration tool, and they moved everything over. And now everything's YouTube Music now. Google Play is gone. And I was wrong. I got trying to get all bent out of shape about YouTube Music this, and I didn't ask for this. I didn't want any of these things. YouTube Music is fantastic. I can just ask it to play a song, and it'll go on for hours just based on the things of that song type of thing. Now, in the whole scheme of things, Apple Music is wonderful too. They're all wonderful. You can get so much music, and sometimes you want to be brain dead. Just play something. I don't care. And there's other times I say, I want to hear this album because it brings me back to my childhood. I had this. I've all the vinyl albums I've gotten down in the basement that the little miss is saying I must get rid of. And 13 years later, I still have not gotten rid of them because she hasn't emptied out her jewelry drawer. So, kind of this and that type of thing. So anyway, I discussed this on Facebook, and then I just put it on the Me and My Roku page. You can check it out for yourself about the whole story on these things. So I thought, well, what makes for great podcasting than a top 10 list of all the current rankings as of now. And this is not static. This can happen. This can move around at any point here. A top 10 list of the 10 best music streaming services. I can go 1 to 10, or I can go 10 to 1. I'm going to go 1 to 10. So right now, in the lead right now is YouTube Music. I use it a lot because I can just go to the things, and then I can have a playlist and then say, add this to this next. Seems to be very user-friendly, very algorithmic, and the radio functions, all it. It used to be only Pandora could do that, and now everyone seemingly is getting better at it. So YouTube Music's number 1. Number 2 is Apple Music. Number 3 is an interesting one. It's SiriusXM, and I add Pandora to that. So Pandora is not going to end up on this top 10 list because I'm looping it in with SiriusXM. Because, 1, SiriusXM is on here because, 1, I need it for my car, because when we go on long trips and all that stuff, we need SiriusXM. It's just, you're running out of reception and all that stuff, seemingly, all the time now. Radio is, Anyway, SiriusXM. And then on the app, you get all the SiriusXM channels plus all the extra channels and all that stuff. And then when you're listening to a song and you like that, you can now make that a Pandora station. Because SiriusXM and Pandora are one thing, so I've looped them in, and they're in at number 3. Number 4 is Spotify. This is like Netflix of the music streaming services. The kids today is just like, I gotta have my Spotify. I can't live without it. Oh, God. I get it through my college and all this stuff. I can't live without it. Oh. I'm telling you, all of these 10 will get you through. It doesn't really matter. But I like Spotify as well, and I do like their adding of podcasts and all that stuff. So they're good. Number 5 is Amazon Music. Kind of an underdog in there. But a lot of people with Prime Music can get it. But then if you just add a couple bucks more, and I can use Apple credits for this as well, but they charge you that extra 30% that Apple takes on there. But it's a good service, and they've added podcasts as well now, too. 6 is Tidal. I like Tidal. It's fine. It just doesn't really differentiate from the others. 7 is YouTube, just YouTube, regular YouTube. You can just go down a rabbit hole there, put in a music video, and boom, you can go on for days. 8 is Deezer. 9 is JioSaavn, and 10 is Ghana. Number 9 and number 10, I thoroughly enjoyed. They have just added podcasts and all this stuff, so I added them on there to look for the Me and My Roku podcast. They're on there, and I had a blast listening to the music from the different parts of the world that they're from and all that stuff, too. So I know no one asked for that. But here on Me and My Roku, I give you more. So I thought I'd share that. I've been meaning to talk about that for a couple of weeks. Okay. I'm getting a little itchy, a little twitchy, as you can tell now. I should probably get back to my Roku and all that stuff. Maybe you should too. It's okay. But thank you for listening. I really appreciate you stopping by. Please, more updates along those lines. Check out my website, meandmyroku.com. I put things from time to time. Sometimes top 10 lists, sometimes just the general news of that the podcast is out. Enjoy it, all that stuff. Hey, I talked about Philo earlier. I think the offer is still going on. If you want to try that again, it's philo.meandmyroku.com. I think check that out if you want. Check out archive.org. Thank you. They provide the bandwidth of this podcast, and check them out today at archive.org. If you want to know more about how I get gift cards and streaming on that, check that out today at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Please check that out. Just for yourself, just Christmas coming up and all holidays coming up. We may all be hunkered down, and you may want to just get gift cards for people themselves. Check it out today, please. swagbucks.radioaffliction.com and save yourself some cash and get gift cards and all that. You can, and you may. Subscribe to the Me My Roku podcast. I got a list here where you can get this fine podcast. You don't have to just listen to it on Spotify or all our Apple Podcasts. There's other things out there. So here it is. Ready? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Ghana, JioSaavn, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Radio.com. Boy. As I go through that list there, that goes like my top 10 list. There's one I forgot there. iHeartMedia is actually a really good app, too. That's a good place to listen to music. Like if you want to pick a genre or anything like that. We'll put them in at number 11. How about that? And you can follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. Did I cover my ass okay other than that? You can follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction, and you can follow me on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. And if you have questions, comments, or anything like that, need more one-on-one contact discussion with me, you can email me at meandmyrokupodcast at gmail.com. Hey, I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.